Can you truly enjoy living life without money? Maybe you can decide to go live in a small village like I am now, grow your own food, disconnect from social media, wake up to birds chirping, breathe in crisp, unpolluted air, and bask in the glory of nature blooming in all its colors. Maybe you can go live in a forest and live on roots, wild fruits, and hunting rabbits, but even so, you'll need money. Your expenses will be reduced by a huge margin, but you'll still need money. To grow your own food, you still need money for seeds and fertilizer. To live in a forest, you still need a map, a tent, great quality shoes to keep your feet from harm, because it will take time for your feet to adapt to rocky and thorny paths. So maybe the question shouldn't be, can you enjoy life without money, but can you enjoy life without money in a society where money is the engine? When rich people say that money doesn't buy happiness, I understand what they mean. They just don't know how to express it. They mean that no amount of money can prevent you from losing your loved ones, from getting a chronic illness, from your child getting bullied. They mean that money doesn't protect you from bad human experiences that are very much universal, because tragedy doesn't look at your bank account. However, it is not correct to say that money doesn't buy happiness, because a society built on the foundation of money means you can never have dignity without money. And this is why there are so many people today that are willing to sell whatever they can, whether it's their body parts, their souls, their time, to have money, because it is an important determining factor on how people treat you, on opportunities that you get in your professional and personal life, because many people look at the size of your bank account to decide whether you're worthy of getting a chance at love. It is true that money doesn't protect you from many things, but it makes it easier to go through those experiences when you don't have to worry about feeding yourself, about where you will sleep, about whether your children will go to school. The statement, money doesn't buy happiness, is just another useless justification for oppressive systems, the systems that have become so adamant to change that they use more ambassadors to spread this idea that you can manifest yourself out of poverty. If there's something that I'm increasingly seeing in my comment sections that I do not like, is people who are coming to tell me about how I just need to embrace Jesus and God and everything is gonna be fine. And of course, this is not true at all, because if all it took was just trusting in a higher power, then a lot of suffering would not be in this world. I really don't like the way that religion is constantly being used to make justifications for oppressive systems that cause unnecessary suffering. I also don't like this idea where people are like, oh, God did amazing things for me in my life, he's going to do the same for you. Because I really don't understand why God is making your life amazing, but the same God is ignoring children that are getting killed. And we can sit here all day and talk about God this, God that. I have no interest in that, and I have no interest in saying that in my comments, because at the end of the day, even the people that are oppressing you, they are saying that God has given them the power to oppress you. Instead of putting a lot of energy into telling people Bible quotes, put that energy into holding leaders accountable. I understand it's actually easy to just outsource everything to God or to Jesus. Once you outsource all these problems and everything to them and they're gonna deal with them, you don't have to deal with it. And a lot of people who actually call themselves religious, they do this so they don't have to put in the work of dismantling oppressive systems. They do this so they don't have to explain the privilege that they have, so they don't have to take responsibility for having great lives while other people are suffering. They do this so that they don't have to feel like they're responsible for creating a better world, because it's just trust in God and everything's gonna be fine. It doesn't work like that. Actually, I don't understand why in the same breath a lot of people feel uncomfortable when you talk about the suffering that you go through, because if all the good things that you're getting in life are because of God, it means all the bad things also is because of God. No. Oh, but you want to tell me, oh, talking about suffering is insulting God. One of the things that I've really been thinking about lately is privilege, and I think I have to make a whole other video about privilege, because we have different levels of privilege, and yes, everyone has privilege. And when it comes to the privilege of having money, a lot of people are always thinking that you need a lot of money for you to live a good life, but even a decent amount of money makes a very big change in your own life. Taking myself as an example, it is very easy for me to look at my life and just tell you, you know, God did this for me. God took me to the best schools. But that is is actually not correct, because my parents made a lot of sacrifices, including taking out a lot of loans to ensure that my siblings and I went to the best of schools. Their priority was ensuring we get education from the best institutions. Yeah, you will hear a lot of people telling you about how school doesn't matter. Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, they dropped out of school. Which schools did they drop out of? They're not like you. You're not like them. There are people who look at me now and they're like, yeah, you went to the best of schools, you got the best of grades, and look at you, you are still at home now. You know, just because you are at home, because you have no options, doesn't mean that that is my reality. I need people to understand that your life is not other people's lives. The very expensive education that I had access to, thanks to the sacrifices, immense sacrifices of my parents, who actually saw education as something very important, that has helped me to know so much, to have a lot of knowledge, and I'm using that knowledge to now create a life that I want for myself. That is a privilege that a lot of people don't have, because guess what, a lot of people are going through life living life that has already been written by other people without knowing, because they don't have the knowledge. I will tell you for a fact that one of the best gifts that I ever got in my life was getting to go to a business school. I went to France to do my master's degree. I did it in a business school, and of course I wasn't thinking that I wanted to go to a business school. For me, in 2019, I was just looking for a place where I could do my master's degree in digital marketing. At that time, it was really hard to find a master's degree in digital marketing. Marketing, yes, you can find, but digital marketing, it's kind of difficult. So when it came to actually choosing the school that I went to, I just went to the school that had the degree that I wanted, digital marketing and communication, and it just happened to be in a business school. And of course, when I went to the business school, I didn't know that it was actually going to be a game changer. I started going through the classes and I was like, wow, I don't know what my life would have been like if I didn't have access to that knowledge that I got in that environment. I've always been a creative person, and I remember even while I was in high school, there was a course called business studies. I was like, no, I'm not going to do this course. Oh, who even studies business? It's just so annoying. It's not for me. That's how I ended up studying French in high school. My undergraduate degree was communication. It's the production, the creative process of coming up with a script, turning an idea into a film. But there's also the financial aspect of production, the business aspect of production. Because guess what? You need to make money while you're making films. I mean, what's the reason Hollywood is so successful? It's because it's a business. That's something that was really not touched on in my undergraduate era. So even after graduating, I was just all about, I just want to be a creative. This actually works to your detriment with thinking like that, because it means that you don't know how to monetize your skills. Even when you get a job, you are going to constantly hear people undermining your work, because a lot of people undermine creative work. It is well in business school that I actually understood one important thing. You are supposed to be paid for your skills. If you find a way of knowing how to sell your skills, you are going to make a lot of money. The idea that I was actually taught was to find a job that is going to pay me. But the problem with that is that you're not actually selling your skills, you're selling your time. When you look at, I don't know, 9 to 5, 8 to 5, for me, while I was working, the first job that I got in Kenya, it was more like from 7:30 a.m. would work until like 10 p.m, 11 p.m. When it comes to communication, public relations, this event management, you have events until 3 a.m. You're working all those hours, but what are you actually doing? Because when you really look at it, a lot of work that is being done in a lot of corporate environments or corporate companies is work that doesn't even help anyone, because the basis of companies in today's world is to make money and not to change people's lives. Let's take an example of makeup. When you say you are starting a company that is going to create makeup that makes women feel good, is it really? Because a huge part of actually making a lot of money from makeup is not making people feel good, but making people feel like there's something that they have that needs to be corrected. That is how you make money, because you need people to continuously buy, but they're not going to buy if they feel good. For example, for me, I do have a lot of dark spots on my skin, and I really don't mind, because it just reminds me of my teenage years when I had a lot of pimples. I don't mind that. But if you need to sell me a product that is going to be removing my dark spots, you have to remind me that they're not good. You have to make me hate myself a little bit for having dark spots so that I can buy that product. Even if you're like, oh, I want to help people to feel good in their skin, the underlying thing that is going to make people buy your products is not feeling good about themselves. That's why marketing is really about influencing people to change their behavior so they can buy the products that they absolutely don't need. I feel like I'm going into a marketing rabbit hole. I need to stay on the topic. If you don't have knowledge, then people are going to take advantage of your time. Knowledge that I got from business school has really helped me to craft a life that I want to live, because now I know very well what I can do for me to get money without using up all my time, without being in environments that are so toxic. I don't have the knowledge about how these environments have been created and the real objective of these environments. It will never occur to you that you can do something else, still be able to earn money from your own skills. In fact, most times a lot of money than what you're being paid. There's actually an article, I'm going to leave it in the description box, about how our lifestyles have actually been designed and how 8 to 5, 9 to 5, this structure of work plays a huge role into consumption and driving the capitalism engine. When you were spending Monday to Friday in the office, you only have the weekend to have fun. You're going to spend a lot of money, you're going to do shopping to treat yourself, you're going to eat out to treat yourself, you're going to buy your children a lot of things to make up for the time that you didn't spend with them because you were busy making money. Going to work every single day, you're keeping the public transportation alive. You'll probably not have time to cook yourself lunch to carry to work. You are going to spend money to buy yourself lunch while you are at work. When it comes to the evening, especially the weekends, oh, you just want to unwind. You go to a club, you go buy alcohol, you are with friends, you're spending lots of money. All this to say, it's very easy to tell people to just believe in God, trust in God, and everything is gonna be fine, but really it takes a lot more than that.